Most of the superhero stories and movies have metals. In the comic books, they had characters like Iron Man, and they have Captain America's shield, and they have Wolverine's claws, or they have Thor's hammer Mjolnir. In my lab today, we take that inspiration from the comic books that I've read, and we're doing things that can make metal stronger and far more efficient.
This great big story was made possible by BP. Fewer emissions, more energy. This is the Global Energy Challenge. At this university lab, you'll find Suveen and his students experimenting with various metals.
My name is Suveen Mathaudhu. I'm an associate professor of mechanical engineering and material science and engineering at UCR.
Suveen really knows metals, and he's using his knowledge to help the environment.
The field I study is focused on developing techniques and technologies to take a metal and to maximize its performance. In my laboratory, we're working on materials like magnesium and aluminum, where if we can make them stronger, they can replace heavier, more bulky materials that are used in transportation applications to promote fuel efficiency.
Altering metals to weigh less means cars and planes release less emissions, making them safer for the environment, something Suveen knows Captain America would appreciate. For Suveen, the interest in this work goes back to his childhood.
Part of the reason I became interested in metallurgy is since I was a kid, I was always fascinated with the comic books that I read. Most of the superheroes were scientists. It held a certain fascination for me that drew me in and plotted where my career would eventually go.
While most of Suveen's research is top secret, the type of work happening in his lab can be seen in some of today's biggest superhero films.
One of the closest examples to what we do in our lab is seen in the Avengers Infinity War movie, where there's a dwarf named Eitri who can be able to forge this hammer that will have the same properties as the one that Thor lost. In our lab, we do very similar kind of work, where we take the knowledge of centuries of metal processing, but tweak it in a small way using the right materials, the right power sources, and then the right students to be able to make materials that have unprecedented properties. What do you call Iron Man and the Silver Surfer when they team up? Alloys.
Suveen has received numerous grants to continue his work to help our planet. Something pretty heroic, even if Suveen doesn't agree.
I do not see myself as a superhero. I see myself as the person that can create superheroes, which is almost more important. I have the privilege of working at a higher education institution and training some of the best minds out there. And it would give me a lot of pride to see the students that I'm teaching in my classes going out and really changing the world with the science and the engineering that they do.